Well, I just want to welcome Francis Cormier from CormierBuilders.com. How are you, Francis?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I just want to speak to the power of taking somebody who you met offline at a Panera Bread.
Right.
And you were kind of sitting behind me, overseeing kind of a PowerPoint slide, and I heard you on the phone, and
Yeah.
somebody had to step up, so I just started a conversation with you.
That's right.
And realized you were one heck of a home builder. And you're a very talented guy. You're in business with your brother?
Sure. Yeah. My brother Bernard, and have been for over 20 years, second generation.
Oh, wow. So there's definitely some. You have made family business work, of course.
Oh, no question. It's been a long endeavor for us. We've been at it, as I mentioned, for a good 20 plus years, and before us, our dad and six of his brothers actually were all swinging hammers and developing land and so forth. So we followed suit.
Wow, I didn't realize that extensive. The things you learn.
Yeah, right.
But Francis, when we had met and talked, I know you had a pretty good looking website from an aesthetic standpoint, and ultimately we talked about from a marketing perspective. How was that working out? Not to say it wasn't working, or how did you feel about that? Why did we eventually take that next step and get together? And through your eyes, of course.
Right. I think basically it's become a brochure, very static. It wasn't really doing much other than directing traffic that people may come across and give a business card out, and then they would check the website out. Yep. But as far as getting that online traffic, we haven't attained that to date, and that's where we felt we needed to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about marketing pieces are they do serve as a credibility indicator, and that's kind of the brochure appeal. And it's nice to have those. And the great thing about the offline world, the old age, as I like to call it, at the LA Advertising Group, is that you can't do away with that altogether. And human nature is the driver behind why anybody pushes that mouse. And of course, this video series is called Push Button Profits, that this portion is going to be inserted into. So moving forward, I know we've done some innovative things where we have an end in mind, but we just started working together, and I thought it was nice to include you in this, because there's a lot of people out there who are pretty much in your situation. You knew that you were not archaic. I don't want to sound degrading by any means.
Sure.
But you knew there was a need to kind of soup up the infrastructure. And from the keyword research aspect to some of the direct response capabilities, getting people to take action on your prompts. That's kind of where we're going. And one of the things that I learned from you guys, and I would love to learn more about the building industry for this quick segment, as well as how people can take your brother Bernard, and Bernie had a great point. He called it bland building. And there's nothing wrong with kind of the cookie cutter mindset. Franchising has become the greatest business model at large to date, and it's because it does take that one model that works and just keeps on keeping on. And where you guys come into play, and really where our marketing's going to come in to play, is to take your ability to find a buyer earlier on in the process. And what does that mean to yourself, and is it exciting from a marketing standpoint? Just kind of put a pulse on that for us and for everybody watching.
Well,
today.
yeah, I mean, in the past we've relied on word of mouth a lot of times. We have done subdivisions in the past, but up in the North Reading, Andover areas, where we're now in a new market. We're down in the Wellesley area. That's where we want to be, and so we're starting to build up our client list. That's the reason why we're really looking to get those marketing juices going, as I said before. When it comes to having a customer up, from the beginning of a job, that falls under the definition of a custom home. And we're either, and we've done them both, as custom builders, where we're basically interacting with our clients from day one, and we walk through the whole project with them, whatever length of time that may take. It could be a 6-month project, could be a year project, and they really are able to have a say on every single thing that's being implemented into the home.
Right. Now, is that ideal for you? Is that kind of all you want to be, or do you want a little bit more?
Well, we believe in diversification, and I think as far as, again, looking at the custom work, we enjoy that because both Bernie and I are people, we're very comfortable around people, and some contractors, they just don't mix very well with a customer. They prefer not to have that interaction whatsoever and just, build the home and then have a buyer come in at the very end of the product.
Sure.
Because we enjoy that interaction, we certainly favor that, but we're at the same time we're not discounting the other area of business for us, which would be building on speculative, being a spec house.
Right.
And
now, what does that mean exactly?
A spec house basically is that we're purchasing the property, and we're going forth with the design style of the home that we've chosen, and gone forth and build that.
Right.
And with the intention of selling the home upon completion of that home to someone who comes and walks in.
Yeah, so there's, in essence, there's kind of a higher risk to that for you.
It is.
And as we pull back and just come in for a landing on this video and bring it back to marketing, there's a gentleman named Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Cash Flow Quadrant, and he's just an unbelievable financial teacher and, financial, kind of become a guru. You can go into any Barnes & Noble or bookstore, he's all over the place. But he talks about being the best author and the New York Times best-selling author. Best-selling versus best, very different. So as a business owner, I commend you guys for kind of having a principle of place in each of those marketplaces, but at the same time, when now carrying through with your marketing, I look forward to helping you guys really hone in and compartmentalize your marketing, because you can't be all things to all things with just one kind of cookie-cutter website either.
Sure.
So as we move forward, I look forward to hearing more about the futures of your success, but also potentially sharing some of those things with the Ally Advertising Group's community, and this is really what it's all about. We are creating a community. It's kind of a parallel universe, if you would. It's a safe place for people to go to learn that doing and thinking differently about marketing is okay. Because if you do what everybody else does, would you agree you pretty much get what everybody else has?
Right.
And that's not okay.
Right.
So.
And to touch upon that further, you've mentioned, and we're going to be implementing a video documentary on an upcoming project that we have, and that's going to be a spec home, but it's going to be a high-end home in Wellesley in the $2.5 million price range.
Sure,
and
that's great.
We'll be eager to be able to show people out there what we do from the ground up.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because it's kind of like the number one thing people say is, well, how can you help me? And they just don't know what it goes into the work. A lot of people, especially in the internet marketing side of things, people just think you just throw up a website, and it's not quite that easy. Certainly people don't think you just throw up a home. That's more of a tangible thing. The technology side is kind of under the radar, if you would. But Francis, I thank you for your time today. Definitely look forward to seeing major things happen on the positives for you guys with your marketing, as well as for your business, and where this starting point kind of transitions to. And that's what the fun part is. And we're going to test and tweak, because that's what marketers do as we go, and see what sticks. So thanks so much for your time.
Sure. I also want to thank you, and I appreciate your positive energy. You do bring a great deal to the table, which really has really inspired us to start looking forward and revving the engines up, so to speak, to get the word out there. So
no, I appreciate that. I love what I do, and certainly love helping folks like you who are forward thinking and progressive in nature with your actions, and that's really the key. And your behaviors are only going to follow suit, and big things are to come. So thanks so much.
And I have one other question for you.
Yes.
Would you like a house built?
At some point soon enough.
All right.
I need a little more push button profits, and we'll be all set. So
all right.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
All righty.